Hi, Leo. It's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and today I'm here to discuss the horoscopes for the month of May. And so we start the month with on the 1st, which was yesterday, we had the full moon in Scorpio. I have a video on that. You can check that out. And yeah, and sometimes, actually the full moon will last for 2 weeks or the lunar cycle, right? So we can feel the effects of the transformative Scorpio full moon um, for you, right? Which is honestly in your, I believe it's in your fourth house. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it's in your fourth house of emotional foundation. And that is an intense full moon, so you may want to see that. I also have Uranus too. I have uploaded that yesterday, Uranus into Gemini. And so that will be for 7 years. I have a video on that. You may want to see that. And Uranus actually moves into your 11th house of future aspirations. So that will be important to you. So we start the month though with the sun in Taurus, and that is in your 10th house of career. Yeah, your 10th house of career. This is also your 10th house of social roles, status. This is what we mean by that. And also how you show yourself to the world. It is also associated with a reputation or how people see us. And and so your ninth house of purpose and expansion is being highlighted as well with 5 planets, and that's in Aries, right? The sun in Taurus is representing your relationship with yourself. The sun, this is your natal sun, right? That is your luminary, Leo, in case you are not aware, right? But uh, and the sun is life. So the sun in Taurus for you is also representing your well-being. Yeah, your well-being and your finance, right? Your material gain or material comfort. The sun makes a the sun in Taurus is making a trine to the descendant in your sixth house of work, health, and daily obligations. What does that mean, really? The sun making the trine is a very favorable configuration. It sure is. It's creating a flow. And this is to your sixth house of like obstacles or, work and, these daily responsibilities we have. So there's something good going on there for you. The sun is life. It is supporting that house. And the trine is also, um, yeah, supporting your work, as I said, but your career and your well-being, yeah, can be. And that's very important, right? We also have the sun making a square to Pluto in your house of relationships. And this is your seventh house where you create harmony and fairness or harmony and balance, really. And that is also your house of opponents, right? People that we don't get along with or people who don't agree with us, even if we've been, angelic, right? There's always kind of those people, right? But this is pushing you or pushing for change in how you relate to others, especially with those you feel you're not able to kind of create that harmony with. Yeah. Um, yeah. And so on the 16th, Leo, we have the new moon in Taurus where the sun and the moon align. And so this will be emphasizing new or hopeful, something new or something hopeful, or you're planting seeds. It can also initiate a transition in your house of the future. Very interesting. Um, yeah, from your house, kind of from your house of career. Yeah. And so all this is aligned with uh all this is aligned really with Uranus, or it has a resonating meaning like the story of the horoscope or the astrology, the horoscope for you in the month of May, right? Uranus is in that house of the future. There's a lot of change here, is what I'm saying, right? And the new moon in Taurus, yeah, and so we have Taurus is your 10th house of career. Yes, it is, as I was saying. So it's also social roles. So there's something going on there for you. And Mercury represents our mind and our intelligence, right? Our intellect. Mercury will be conjoined with Uranus, and this can change the social circles that you run in. That can be the case there. Gemini is your 11th house of future aspirations, but it's also about the social groups or the people that you kind of, the people that you may, your friends and social groups and people that you have like-minded people in your life. That can definitely change with Mercury and Uranus there. You could also have some really great ideas about career, right? Um, yeah, and so, or future ideas, exactly, ideas for the future, right? For sure, when we see Mercury will be running, or not running, but entering into its own, like its own sign, right? In Gemini. So it's very powerful there. And so Mercury with Uranus, I have a whole video on that, but just briefly here, it can really change a lot for you. It sure can for the next 7 years, right? So check that out. But we have Mars entering Taurus on the 18th. So Mars is our will to act, it's our courage, it's our desire, it's our drive. And so Mars will be entering Taurus. And once again, Taurus is your house of career. So there could be, it could also be it's entering your house of career, but it's also going to move into Gemini. When does Mars enter Gemini here? Actually, it's entering, no, it's just entering Taurus during this month. I beg your pardon. But Mars right now is in your ninth house of purpose, your ninth house of higher purpose, expansion, and growth. That's where Mars sits right now. So there's something going on there for you during the month of May about your purpose, about something that maybe you want to grow or you feel like you could really grow or expand. And it can likely be related to career, right? Excuse me, it can. Um, hmm And Mars is ruling your fourth house of foundation and also Aries. Yeah. And so Aries for you is really, yeah, your ninth house of purpose. That's where it is sitting there. Wow. So that's a big deal for you. A lot of change for you here. A lot of growth for you, Leo. That's what this is saying. Okay. We have the sun entering Gemini on the 20th. And remember, Gemini represents your 11th house, if you, right, your 11th house of future aspirations. So Mercury is ruling that 11th house. But the sun will enter there on the 20th. And yeah, this is that house of future aspirations, friends, and social groups. It's also it's very a social house. It can also be about kind of our thinking and change because it is associated with our future aspirations, right? So it is really looking good for you. And thank you so much for joining me here, Leo. If you'd like to see Uranus entering Gemini into that very house of change for you or house of future aspirations, I have that and also the full moon in Scorpio, which may last or affect us for up to 2 weeks, right? That's how the lunar cycles are working. So thank you so much. And please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell, and you'll be notified of my next upload. If you'd like a reading with me, check out the description box. All kinds of great readings. They're all geared for growth, and they're all geared to let us see ourselves in this light. And really, we don't know what we don't know if we haven't had our chart read by somebody who approaches the chart in this way. It's highly fascinating, right? The chart is there to give you the tools to live your best life, right? Yeah, there's even an astrologer here on YouTube who calls himself that. The name of his channel is, Astrology for a Better Life, and he's right, right? Thank you so much, Leo, for joining me here today.